right, good afternoon, everybody. It is 4:05, and we will call the Plan Commission meeting to order. For those, let's do the roll call. Mayor Sorensen is present. Alder Mitchell. Ryan Sasma.
Here.
Jerry Jones. Here. Marilyn Montemayor. Here. Dave Hoffman. All right, for those in attendance, would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from November 9th?
Second?
There's been a motion second. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Chair votes aye. 3.1, application for conditional use and sign permit with exceptions by Qriket Wireless to install new signage at 2719 Calumet Drive. Steve?
All right, thanks, Mayor. Patrick Milan's is here from RLO Sign, working on behalf of Qriket. So what we're taking a look at is the facility at North and Calumet that has the AutoZone and Title Max located at 2719 Calumet Drive. And Qriket Wireless would like the ability to install some new signage at their site. They're going to be occupying one of the tenant spaces, so they're looking to install the sign that you see on the site before you. Interior lit about 35 square feet. Couple of comments just to make the Plan Commission aware of. This is not necessarily a new sign. It'll be relocated from a different site. The applicant currently does have a temporary banner on the site, and you can kind of see it's hasn't been installed that great. So, you know, anything we can do to get that taken care of to be installed properly. AutoZone does have a couple of banners out here. No problem working with AutoZone, but we typically don't allow for the banners in what's referred to as the street right away. So between the curb, gutter, and sidewalk. So those would need to be removed. And then Title Max on the far west end of the site has about 5 of these flags with just these dollar signs on. And there are also some dumpsters that are unenclosed out at the site. So when we had approved the project previously, dumpsters were approved like this that would need to be completed. So there's a couple of just site issues that are involved in this particular sign permit. The reason why the sign permit is coming to the Plan Commission is the maximum number of signs on the building is 4, and Title Max and AutoZone each have 2 apiece. So there's the need to come in and get a variance to install the 5th sign on there. And staff doesn't have any issues with that, but there are several conditions that indicate several things need to occur. Oh, and one last thing is the actual Patrick is from RLO Sign, so the owner is not here, the tenant's not here. But one of the other items with the occupancy is the applicants have not obtained any of the required occupancy permits or license required to do work in the site. And so it's my understanding that they're in the process of doing that, but they have not. So staff is also going to be recommending a condition that no sign permits are issued until an occupancy permit is issued, and they take care of all the matters to occupy and operate from the site. So I was recommending approval of the sign with the conditions that you have before you addressing the site itself and the tenant space.
Any additional comments?
I think Steve said it best, you know, it's not really on me. I did not put the banner up myself.
Guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I just, even the banner itself, I didn't even do. We've asked them multiple times, hey, we can put that up better for you. You know, it's just hanging there.
Yeah.
Do you want us to take it down? Anything, just do something better. No response, but
Okay.
that's usual, but I can work with the landlords on getting some of the other issues taken care of. I understand, you know, we want to comply with everything with you guys to make sure that it looks good. I don't want to put up any sign that's not going to look decent.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Comments, questions, concerns from commissions members?
I make the motion to approve, subject to staff recommendations.
Motion and second, further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Chair votes aye, that's approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
3.2, conditional use permit with exceptions by Crota Development to develop the vacant Shopko building into a multi-tenant retail facility at 518 South Taylor Drive. Steve?
Thanks, Mayor. I believe Corey Presnick from Crota Development may be on the phone, and then Doug Schwalbe from Keller is here. And so basically what we're taking a look at is the old Shopko facility. As everyone's aware, that is a 98,000 square foot building and has been vacant since approximately 2019. Crota Development is looking to create 3 tenant spaces, one for Hobby Lobby, the largest site, about 61,000 square feet on the south side of the facility, about 25,000 on the north side of the site for Ross Dress for Less. And then there is a third tenant space that there's not a tenant presently in. They may just use it for storage and things like that. But so that's what we're taking a look at. The applicant indicates that the 2 national retailers are Hobby Lobby and Ross Dress for Less, best-in-class operators, and offer the local community excellent new shopping options. Each national retailer operates more than 1,000 stores in the country. The days in operations and customer counts will be relatively similar to the previous Shopko use or what you see for the typical type of retailers. Hours will be the same, and the retailers will employ several dozen full-time and part-time employees in each of the facilities. The architectural style of the building will remain. Each of the tenants will have their own prototypical storefront to the stores. So this one, we don't have the signage detailing the Ross store, but that will have some signage in the large tan space, and that was approved at architectural review last night. So that'll be, you can kind of see the original Hobby Lobby, and that's taking place on the north side closest to Erie Avenue. And then the Hobby Lobby is basically taking place in the old entranceway where Shopko was, and that will be infilled with a similar block and a new vestibule created for the Hobby Lobby entrance. At this point in time, no formal sign package has been submitted, and we'll work with the applicant on that. There's been some discussion about potentially, there's a freestanding sign that was previously out at the site used by Shopko, Applebee's, and Pizza Hut, and it's the anticipation that staff would be talking to them about some type of similar signage for the 3 tenants in the future as well. A lot of the building on the north and south sides, north, south, and west will be the same. You can see a little bit with the Hobby Lobby that this side will be painted a tan color, and there will be a little bit of additional exterior remodel on the facade at that intersection, that signalized intersection. The other thing that the applicant, it's not part of this application, but you'll probably see in the near future, is when you take a look at this, this is one parcel, and in the future, there's a possibility of creating another outlet to the south of Applebee's along Taylor Drive that you could, there's nothing at this point in time, but it's likely we may see a certified survey map to create that lot, and then maybe development down the line. The only other thing is that there was just a little bit of garbage that was dumped, it looked like in the back of the building. Kind of hard to see here, but it looked like there was some mattress. I'm sure it wasn't these guys, but some mattresses and garbage. So someone took advantage of the site and dumped some stuff there. So I'd imagine the applicant would clean that up as part of the development itself. The only variance that is being requested is that the new vestibule for Hobby Lobby, you can see that there's just a little bit of an addition. I think it's about, I can't remember how wide that number is, about 16 or 18 feet wide, but it's about 18.5 feet from the property line. And so that's the only variance that's requested in this. So staff was recommending approval of the conditional use permit subject to the conditions. The applicant's here and and there is someone on the phone. I don't know if anyone else in the audience is here for this.
Is there anyone on the phone for this one?
Yes, hi, Corey Presnick. Good evening.
Hey, Corey. Do you have any additional comments that you'd like to add?
Not specifically. Happy to answer any questions, but yeah, I mean, Steve and Chad have been great to work with. I think he's very well versed in what we're trying to accomplish here, and we're generally good with all the conditions. So here to answer any questions.
Right. Questions from commissioners? Okay. Jerry?
No, it's me. I'm just curious, that third tenant space, if you do rent that out, how will you get access to that?
Sure, yeah, that's
appears
certainly
to be
difficult. With all the service in the rear there, it would certainly be a flex space, some sort of alternate use that would take some creativity. It's unlikely at this stage, although, we'd love to, you always love to be additive to the community if we could figure it out. We've done things like this, like, for example, we were able to get a tag office on a rear-facing facade like this. The parking is lacking in this particular case, so that's probably the biggest inhibitor. Usually you can figure out, but there's a lot of utilities in that area, so it certainly would be a challenge, and that's not certainly, I guess call it, we're not going to let the tail wag the dog, so to speak. So we're hopeful there may be some utility to that down the road, but that would be a completely separate effort, and we'd come back and present to the board how we would accomplish that at this point. But we're certainly focused on bringing these two national retailers to the forefront right now. When you've got a building of this depth, it's inevitable that you're going to have some lost efficiency in the building just based on national tenant needs. So this is actually fairly efficient use of it, and we'd like to leave open the possibility to having that, but you're right, it's going to be pretty challenging. And so for the time being, it'll be decommissioned space.
Thank you.
And Jerry, did you have a question?
Yeah, Steve answered the one question about the outlot, but on the parking and the entrance and ingress and egress, and maybe Ryan, you can chime in, coming in off of the street, you've got Taco Bell and now you'll have two major tenants there. Are there any concerns about getting into Ross or the crosswalk that might need to be put there?
Jerry, you're talking about the crosswalk going across Erie Avenue?
No, coming in, like when you turn left into the driveway, coming in front of the buildings, there'll be a lot of traffic coming through there. How will people navigate back and forth?
Right here, Jerry. Kind of.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
That's something we'll have to work with the developer on the site plan. Probably like a heavy crosswalk or some type of solar crossing signs.
Okay.
For pedestrians going back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was glad to see at architectural review, they will keep the trees on the north side of the building that are there to block some of that wall. So that's encouraging.
Steve?
Hey, Corey, is that something you might be able to address in terms of, it looks like there's some type of walk that goes from the new little parking area into the Ross, and that traffic coming in from that signalized intersection? I think there's the question, if I'm correct, is that just from a safety perspective, any thoughts or comments in terms of the civil and the design work at that intersection and how that relates to the vehicles and pedestrians?
Sure, sure. And I'll let Eric, who I believe is in the audience in person, also comment technically from a civil design perspective. But from a development perspective, it's a fair assessment for sure. And these tenants are used to these very bustling retail corridors, and there certainly will be a pedestrian crossing in terms of signage. There'll be striping. And Eric, I don't believe that there's currently any raised, sometimes you can do a raised element to sort of have an element that'll have the cars slowing down. So, I mean, certainly we can look at that. The grading is already a challenge in that area, just how the grading sloped as it was. So I don't even know if that's feasible here, but, Ross, the tenant, they have very significant reviews of these types of things. They are comfortable with it and are used to that, and take precautions that they can take to keep the customers safe. But we're certainly open to hearing any ideas of how we can improve that. But, it's just, there's going to be a lot of activity right there. And we'll have, as I mentioned, pedestrian signage and striping.
Thank
I don't know
you.
if Eric has any comments.
Okay. Any other additional questions? All right. Ma'am, do you have a question?
Yeah, so I'm Jennifer Rutten. I'm the Executive Director for Glacial Lakes Conservancy. So we have the land that is just to the south of the property. And I just wanted to bring up attention to, I'm sure you guys know, you showed the photo already of the mattresses, but again today, so there's a tent, there's an encampment that is there. I was there with the police again today. I'm going to be having a meeting with the captain. So there are homeless that are going down into Willow Creek. So we have Willow Creek Preserve, that's 143 acres. So we have been monitoring that. I've been using up a lot of staff time and volunteer time, and was just on the phone with Dean Decker about it, because there is, there's some threatening folks that are down there. And so your surveyor was out and actually experienced some of it last week. So in the last month, I've been out there almost every single day with the police and the warden, because there was illegal hunting going on our property. And so there's just more than just the mattresses that you see. There is something that is happening every single day. So we are tasked as a conservancy. It is a public, we own the property. It is open to the public. We are taking these threats very seriously. We have to go in there tomorrow and get rid of a lot, because there's a tent that today we realized, and it's on the very border of the Shopko. If you can bring up that map again, I can show you. Yeah, so it's in the northeastern, or that corner right in there, yeah. So it's right in there that they're gaining access through the parking lot of Shopko and going down into our side of the property line, and then a little bit on the Shopko line. So again, beware, it's a little risky down there right now. The police actually wouldn't let us down there because they had to leave, and they did not want two females from the Conservancy down there alone. So it is something that we need to address with the city at some point.
Steve?
Thanks for letting us know.
Yep.
Maybe you can work with these guys to get the rest of the property over on that green space that they own there. But one of the things is, hopefully now that the center will start to be occupied and with people over there and activity, hopefully that takes care of some of it.
It will. We were elated when we saw the process, because we need that. You need that commotion going on. The bow and arrow hunter did stop, so we were out there consecutively every single day, and the surveyor was out there, so he has left. But to the encampments, they do have full grills. They have kerosene down there. So the threat of having 143 acres of a conservancy to burn down because of this is a huge concern to us and to the community. I got 6 calls from citizens walking our property that saw the tent. They can see on that property line of the garbage that's going down. They can see people coming in. So it is something that we need to take into consideration.
Thank you.
I'm happy
Thanks for letting us know.
Yep, thank you.
Anyone else want to speak on this item? All right, seeing none. Commission members, is there a motion?
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor, please state aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Chair votes aye. Corey, I just want to say thanks so much for your investment and time on this project. We're excited to fill this lot, so thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, we're excited as well. And yeah, for the speaker prior, we're certainly work with them to whatever we can do to advance the community.
Yep, cool.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. All right, next is 3.3, application for conditional use with exceptions by CR Structures to construct a new convenience store and service station at the southeast corner of North 26th Street and Superior Avenue. Steve?
All right, thanks, Mayor. We have Barsudo Adhikari here, as well as Jeff Peterson and Chad, from CR Structures. So, Plan Commission may remember that we had reviewed this item in February of this year. And at that time, the service station was approved. It was approved where the convenience store was located on the south side of the property and facing Superior Avenue. And subsequently to that, the applicant started to do some civil drawings and things like that and found out from a storm drainage perspective that that wasn't going to work. So now they're back before the Plan Commission to construct the convenience store on the east side of the property. And it will now face to the west with the canopy on the west side. So that will now all be facing North 26th Street. The size of the building is about the same size, about 3,200 square feet, with an attached dumpster enclosure at the southeast corner of the site and the fueling three island fueling canopy. The station is going to be a BP service station as far as fueling and with the canopy. The station will have a small restaurant and serve your typical type of convenience store services in terms of gasoline, hot and cold beverages, tobacco, and convenience store merchandise. Projected store is projected to have about 8 to 10 employees. They will include that canopy, but like I said, right now, there is a separate US Oil who will be submitting the actual canopy in the future as far as the, it today is just showing where it is on the footprint of the site. The access drives to the facility will be both off of Superior Avenue and off of North 26th Street. Obviously, you have the fueling over here, so it's likely that you will see a lot of traffic over off of North 26, but obviously, most people will be using Superior, so that exit will carry some traffic too. They do show the possibility of locating a monument sign. We haven't seen any details on that, so that would have to be submitted at a later date. Let's see, so what else? Applicant, the property right now is, you can see that this is a dashed line and the applicant has submitted something referred to as the certified survey map to combine those. This drawing kind of gives a feel in terms of how the site will be landscaped at the intersection and around the back of the building. The fuel tank will be located in this area. You can kind of see the interior of the store and how that's laid out with the kitchen along the Superior end. And then these are some of the designs that were approved by the Architecture Review Board last night. This is not this is just a rendering or a conceptual drawing of what the proposed canopy may look like, just to have an idea. Signage, we're gonna, won't be looking at a pylon sign there. We'd be looking at a much smaller, probably 8-foot sign at the intersection. Just kind of shows some of the information. And then, of course, looking to get some of these canopy posts, similar materials to the building. Plan Commission may want to have applicant kind of address a couple of things. I'm not sure exactly when the canopy drawing is coming in, so maybe they could indicate that. Not sure if there's going to be vacuum or air at this site for any reason. You guys could probably address that. Staff just has some questions with that because in some of the other locations that Mr. Adhikari has, some of that has been kind of not maintained and become unsightly, so just wondering about that. They indicate that there's no outdoor storage, but I'm not sure if you're looking to sell ice, propane, those types of things, because I don't have anything on the site plan where any of that would be located, so it's important to know where that stuff is. There are some residents on the north side of Superior and 26, so you can kind of see some of the landscaping that they're showing to try to minimize some of the impacts, whether it's lighting and different things like that, just to take that into consideration. And then the other thing the Plan Commission just needs to be aware is we've approved several of projects for Mr. Akari over the years, 905 Indiana 1710, 810 North 14th Street. And with some of those, as we are all well aware, there's been some concerns in terms of how it's managed and maintained with building inspection, planning, and police having interactions. So the development certainly will change the appearance of the property, and based on the building and site design, has an ability to fit well on the Superior Avenue. But it's imperative that Mr. Adhikari properly maintain this new facility and property and not have the site scattered with temporary signage, soda machines, unenclosed storage, and products. So that is the biggest concern, is just to make sure once this gets done, it's properly maintained. Couple of variances. One was from a locational landscaping, and the other was to develop a 0.5 acre parcel. So staff was recommending approval of the project subject to the conditions you have before you. I can answer any questions. The applicants are here, and there might be some neighbors here.
Gentlemen, any feedback or anything you'd like to add?
Chad Reichelt, CR Structures. I actually was gonna come up here and answer those two questions, and I forgot what they were.
I think the vacuums.
Oh, no
And air?
vacuum, no vacuum.
Okay.
And then ice.
Yeah.
So I think every convenience store has ice. We would just try to help it blend in with the facade, not clutter the front facade, and keep it separated. So LP, ice, and then wood, but they would be, as far to one side and far to the other side, and keep the main entrance and the main front facade as clean as possible. Potentially tucking the wood in front of or next to the dumpster enclosure, and the ice on the other side. But all that stuff can be detailed in our final architectural and civil approved drawings.
Yeah. What, could I comment?
Yep, of course.
There, one condition that we had looked at that I didn't include on here, but something that could be added to deal with that, and we had this in another circumstance was, for example, and if the Plan Commission would want to add this, feel free to, but something to the effect of outdoor display of ice, propane, and firewood is permitted but must be maintained in an orderly fashion. Yearly and/or seasonal outdoor display is not permitted, and the areas must be properly maintained. Applicant will work with staff on this matter prior to permit issuance. So I guess what I'm saying is, if we wanted, they could submit a site plan that details specifically where these items could be located, and we could have that on file so that we have something just to make sure it's in those locations. And it sounds like that's what they would be after.
Correct.
Questions from commissioners? Jerry?
Steve, can you pull the site map up for me, please? On the north side of the property, the exit there, is that going to be right turn in and right turn out only, or is that unfettered
That's
access?
a full.
That's a full
Left
access.
and right.
Okay. Thank you.
Are any neighbors wishing to speak? Then just state your name and.
Ann Brazo, my husband Steve. We live directly across from the proposed gas station. Is this going to be a 24-hour facility? Do you have hours of operation in mind?
10 or 11, maybe Friday, Saturday, 11, otherwise 10.
Okay, because there is a bar across the street already, and at bar closing time, it gets a little noisy. If that's what you're kind of concerned with that.
Could I comment real quick on that? Right now, there's nothing that says they can't operate 24 hours so that if that's something that is of concern or thoughts by the plan commission, our, hour of operation certainly could be set if the plan commission wished to do so. But I would, the applicant's indicating that, but there's nothing right now that would prevent him from operating 24 hours.
Yeah, because there are numerous gas stations within a 2-mile radius. There's probably 8 gas stations already, so do we really need another one?
That's like asking if we need another pizza restaurant or a hamburger joint.
Or an Olive Garden.
The applicant actually bought the property, in the particular zone that this is located in, which is what's referred to as the urban commercial zone. A service station is a use that is conditionally permitted in that zone. So that's why the applicant has submitted that to the plan commission today.
Okay, if this was purchased by him, he should have been taking better care of the grass during the summer. Waiting till August to mow the grass the first time was not a good neighborly impression.
And when situations like that happen, call your older person or call my office as well too, because we can make sure that that's getting done.
It's not like we're against having a business there.
Yeah.
But with the fire department half a block away, there's an awful lot of traffic with them going by already. What's it gonna jam up with that kind of a thing? Because they're a very busy station. And that place floods all the time. That place over there, we bought our place 30 years ago. And the guy we bought it from said, there's always water across there. And it always is flooded across there now. But I mean, we have nothing against like a medical place going in, because it is kind of the medical corner of Sheboygan.
Right.
But yeah, with the gas station, it's just so much more traffic and,
And there's ambulance traffic to St.
lot.
Nicholas, and the police department's just a few blocks away. So we were just concerned with the in and out traffic, because like a mini mart type thing, people don't stay for a long time, they're in and out.
Right. Yeah, I can't sit here and say that none of your points are valid. They are. And so Superior Avenue is what's referred to as an arterial. It collects from all the other streets. It's been designed, to handle basically traffic all the way from 3rd Street to Taylor Drive. So it does act as an arterial getting to Taylor Drive and things like that. So it's designed, will there be more traffic? Absolutely.
because it's not like it's a 2-lane both ways there.
No,
It's, so it's still fairly a narrow compared to like Taylor or other streets.
right.
Thank you. Ryan, did you have a additional?
Yeah, I got a couple comments. Number one is on the traffic. Superior Avenue, it's, like Steve mentioned, it's an arterial. It's, from a traffic count, it's underutilized. It can support an operation like this. It can. And the other question is, I'd like to talk about the set hours. I think we do need to set some hours.
Sure.
I guess, does that help you, number one, does that help you questions with the traffic
That
count?
would be
The
very
traffic counts,
beneficial if we had
yeah, the
set
traffic
hours.
counts aren't, I mean, they're not there. I mean, they're not high enough where you say it can't support this operation. It can. Like getting in and out of this gas station, there'll be gaps to get out. And I think Superior functions much better since we redid the intersection up at Superior and Taylor. It does. Granted, it's a few blocks away, but it functions much better. Plus, I know St. Nick's did a bunch of extra work with their parking lot. They have a lot of their traffic now go on to Taylor Drive. They've taken a lot of it off of Superior Avenue with the work that was done there.
Yeah,
So,
the turn lanes definitely helped on
Right.
Superior.
so I'm confident the road itself can handle this.
What
this
about the
development.
lighting at night? If they're closed at like 10, is there gonna be all bright lights all night long as well?
No, there may be one light under the canopy or maybe 2 lights just to keep the place a little bit kind of lighting, otherwise no.
And it'll be like pay at the pump all night, right? Which I
Yes.
can see because,
Yeah.
nobody's running in and out, which is pretty much standard, I believe, so.
Motions then, or?
I guess
Or
anything,
Dave?
any further discussion on, the hours, and if so, what would be reasonable and things of that nature?
I guess that's my question to the owner, or developer, your hours of operation.
Yeah, hours,
Dave, could you step up to the mic, please?
thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
As far as hours are concerned, it will be, right now, weekdays 10, Friday and Saturday 11. This I'm giving based on my experience in other places. So normally that's neighborhood kind of location, so opening 24-hour does not make any sense from business point of view.
Okay, you give a closing time, but what's an opening time?
At 5 a.m.
5 a.m., okay. I guess I don't know if the other commissioners feel, but I'd like to see the time frame in the actual approval.
Well, motion to approve subject to conditions and the stated hours of operation being enforced. If I'm saying that.
And are those hours 5 AM to 11?
To 11?
5 a.m. to 10, except Friday and Saturday till 11.
Right.
Okay.
I guess we need that in writing, right?
Yeah, absolutely, because otherwise I don't know what I'm enforcing.
Right. Okay.
And do you have any comments one way or the other with those hours? So that was 5 AM to 10 PM,
Weekdays.
Monday through Friday? Monday through Thursday?
Sunday.
Or Sunday through Thursday, I'm sorry. Sunday through Thursday, and then 5 AM to 11 PM.
Friday and Saturday.
Okay. Thank you.
There's been a
And did
motion-
anyone else have any comments? Sorry, Mayor.
There's been a motion, and then there's a second.
I'm sorry, Mayor.
No worries. Any more discussion on this item? Marilyn, did you have a comment?
Yes, and I'd like to include, I think, Jerry, do you mean the additional recommendations that Steve gave as well?
The outdoor
All right.
storage.
All right.
Sounds good. There's been a motion and second. Seeing no more discussion, all those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Chair votes aye. That item is approved. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Next meeting is December 14th. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion second. All those in favor of adjourning, please state aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We're adjourned at 4:43. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.